let's have a grand old time. Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Crimson Skies. As always, it is a privilege and a pleasure to be playing this game with you guys. We've got a fantastic crew, as always. And let's see, if you, the viewer, while watching on Twitch, want to investigate as to how you as well can join our community and play in the Azure Adventurers Guild that can make changes that could drastically affect what's going on here in the world of the Cloud Cutter. Basically just another series of oh my gods, and then to see what the crew of the Cloud Cutter can do to you as a member of the Azure Adventurers Guild, please, I welcome you to type in !Azure and find out. And with that, if you are ready to begin, everyone, as I am, the only other announcement I have is tomorrow night we will be doing a sit and chat evening stream where I'm just going to be making some battle maps, and we can talk about some stuff. And if you want access to those battle maps, you can also follow the channel, join our Discord server, and you can head into our little map archive in our Discord channel and grab one of the maps yourself. They will be up there available for you to utilize for your own games. Okay. So, finding out a few select things. Last week, you guys discovered that the bounties had all been paid off by some strange, mysterious woman. And then, looking into the pirate end of things, after asking who Madame Lysandre was, you found out nobody knew. Some minor details here and there, but looking into the pirate side of things, the pirate servers were still active for some reason, you discovered that all the bounties seemingly had been paid off by Lysiris, even though she said she has nothing to do with it. Some suspicions raised, and Viamir saying that she doesn't want credit for one reason or another. You all settled in for your flight to Dullahan to potentially, according to Viamir's vision, find a key, as well as obtain a few gladiators, potentially, for Law's sister. And as we begin tonight, after Fixer, you looked into your own bounty sheet, and as no one else has looked into the command crew, as no one of the command crew, I should say officers, as no one in the officers has looked at their own bounties, everything seemed hunky-dory. You, however, looked and found your real name was printed on your sheet.
Well, shit.
You're muted.
See, I've been using push to talk for D&D, but then I've been gaming this week a lot, so I haven't been using push to talk. So,
no worries, brother.
So he's not thrilled, and he starts thinking about a few things. But after a minute or two, he decides to confront the problem head on, and heads up to the bridge to find Lysiris.
Okay. You head up to the bridge. Lysiris is exactly where she always is, at her post, piloting the ship. However, she is talking to another changeling.
Is there anybody else besides her and the changeling? The other one?
Nobody else on the bridge at this moment in time. Awen's door is shut. Seems quiet.
Fixer will start by heading to like some consoles and pretending to look at data while listening to see, not really to eavesdrop, but more just to know when the conversation's going to end.
Okay, make a performance check
This is gonna go real well.
as you start acting as if you're just here on engine room business.
That's a big fat 11.
Big fat 11. Thank you so much for that, guys. You guys rock. Big fat 11. Okay. You seem to be blending in fairly well. Lyceris does turn over and look at you as she kind of just extends herself a little bit more and sees you, gives you a wave, and then goes back to her conversation. As you try and listen in, go ahead and make a perception check.
That went much better. That is a 23.
Okay. With a 23, you hear... Get those sub-cheers out. There we go. With that 23, you hear, no, I don't think they know. You hear some mumbling and, no, I'll be alright. We've changed for the better. Everything will go exactly as it should. No one risking their lives for any unnecessary bullshit. Alright, if you say so. We followed you because you are worth following. That and, well, he didn't need our help. Well, he always does have a different taste in crew. I think he wants something. Why don't you go about your business for the evening? Understood. The other changeling gives her a little nod and a smile, looks at you, gives you a nod, makes his way out. You hear, yes, Fixer.
Yeah, so we have to talk. I went to check the bounty information.
Yes.
And I noticed that my name was on it.
Yes.
And my name needs to be off of it.
Can't do it.
It's got to happen.
I can't do it. It's already done.
How did you know my name?
Oh, trade secret.
Here's the deal. My past is in the past where it belongs, and I don't want it to come back. I don't care if you have to report that I was killed or something, and just pretend that I was never on the ship at all, but I need my name gone. And I feel like, based on things that I've heard recently, you might have some things in the past that you would like to stay there.
I'm an open book, Fixer. As open as the day, well, I wasn't born open. but, well, open as a book.
See, you say that, but people are looking into this most recent boon of ours from a Lady Lysandre.
Good for them.
Yeah. Well, Law was asking me about it, and it seemed I decided to leave out something that I knew about her. The fact that she was a changeling.
I'm not sure why, but sure.
Because I think that you know that if that were to get out, that more information would come out.
About what, exactly? I'm me, who I've always ever been. Nothing's really ever gonna change about that. I will always be the pilot, and the girl who never leaves the safety of her bridge. So if you're attempting to blackmail me, I applaud you, Fixer, because you're doing a pretty bang-up job about it. I do find you cute. But
Here's the deal.
really
I don't
bothering
want to
me.
blackmail you. I don't want to try to come up with information about you that you don't want known. I want things about me to stay unknown. Chances are, with that information on there, a lot of damage has probably already been done. But I guess if we could contain it somehow, I would appreciate it.
She sets the ship to autopilot and slows it down by about 80 miles an hour. It's a slow and steady decrease in speed, but being on the bridge and seeing out the main viewport, you can absolutely see the world begin to slow. She gets up and comes right up to you, nose to nose. And as she does stand a good... How tall are you, actually?
5'10".
5'10"? She is a good bit shorter than you. By about 7 inches or so. And she looks up at you. And surprisingly enough, she's wearing armor, for once. She is clothed. So then, Fixer, what exactly are you going to offer me in exchange for helping you?
I mean, what do you want? I'm not gonna lie, this is important to me. You probably could get away with quite a bit, but I need to know how I can contain this. And you seem like the person who could do it, since you somehow figured out who I was.
I will for 2 things. First, you don't tell anyone about anything involving me and what I know about you and how I know it. You forget this little conversation. And 2, I will call in a favor of any kind. And you will do it. No questions asked. No chance to say no. You say yes, and you get it done. Deal?
Would this to be to contain it from the crew, or do you have some way to contain it overall?
I can't contain whoever's looked at it, but I can change your name. Do you want to be known as Ricky? Phil? How about Lawrence?
Nah, Laza already got that one. And apparently it sucks. Well, I don't know if you saw my fake version or my fake credentials, but I've been using Azure, spelled Fixit Fixer.
No, that's obnoxious.
That's why I picked it.
How about Felix?
Okay. I can deal with Felix.
You're an elf, so... High elf?
The high and mightiest.
We'll go with Felix Ironwood.
Okay.
I suggest you remember it. Very well.
I have a good memory.
She just reaches up and pats you on the cheek. Sure you do. Best of luck, Fixer.
Oh, man. Drive a hard bargain.
It's my ship.
I am dreading the favor.
Don't.
But
It'll be gentle. I promise.
say that. But I actually, now that we have that taken care of, I actually did want to ask you about two things. They're related, and I mean, if this falls under that area, just let me know and I'll back off. The other day I was in the engine room.
You're in the engine room a lot.
Yeah, but this time was a little different. Horace was showing distress for no reason and refused to give.
What's Horace?
Horace is the air elemental.
You named the arcane elemental crystal?
Yeah, his name's Horace. It's more fun. Trust me.
She just puts her hands to your chest and just sits you down in the chair behind you. And just kind of like buckles you in. And then goes to a station and just starts getting tea.
It's like naming your car.
Puts a bit of lemon honey into
your
it.
Car's name is... You know the name Sheila doesn't make your car drive any better, but you still name it Sheila.
She stirs it. Hands it to you. Horace is a terrible name. For an engine?
It's a great name.
The ship is not spreading its legs for every Tom, Dick, Harry, and Jane to come in and service it pleasurably.
See, I can understand the confusion, but it's not us. It's Horus.
Certainly sounds like Horus.
See, but it's actually a very respected name.
By who? And when?
It was the name of an Aarakocra war hero.
300 years ago, I imagine.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Yeah, but I like history. Air Elemental, Aarakocra hero.
She just shakes her head at you. And then as she does, just because she has gotten pretty used to making you feel uncomfortable, she just straddles your lap and sits down on you and just kind of like folds her arms around your neck and just looks at you.
Hi.
And what's the problem then?
The distress. No reason, and for the first time of actually 2 times now, I was told that something was classified outside of my ability to access it. And as the person fixing the engine, I kind of like to have the information about it.
It's part of the elemental plane of air. If it chooses to tell you something, it chooses to tell you.
See, but I figure out of everybody on this ship, the only one that knows it better than me would be you. So...
Never been to the engine room. All I know is it does what I want. When I need it to.
See, that brings us to the other thing. When talking to Law about the escape in the engine room, Horace shared the information that he was not responsible for the power that got us out.
I don't know what to tell you there. My magic is limited. Specifically limited to little things of trickery. With that, she just kind of prestidigitates the smell of cinnamon buns underneath your nose. Muted again.
I used to be able to do that. But insight check.
Okay, make an insight check.
Fix is pretty sure she's hiding something, but no clue what or no evidence for pointing to that. Just that feeling that he got that made him bring it up.
What'd you roll?
9.
Just telling you the truth. She seems to have some trickery magic, and she's a changeling, but beyond that... I mean, you've never even seen her cast magic. Prestidigitation be the first spell she's ever cast. She has inspired the crew before, but...
I thought I saw her make rats.
Well, she never actually cast it around you.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry I can't help you. The ship will do what the ship does. All these mixes of technology and the will of the divine. I suppose there's secrets all around.
Well, if you think of anything pertaining to these items, I'm still going to try to figure out what exactly is going on, because like I said, I'm supposed to fix the ship. I should know what's going on. But thank you for your understanding, and Can I go now?
I suppose so. And she just boops your nose, swings one leg off, then the other. Unless you go. Drink your tea before it gets cold.
Okay. And, like, the cup's, like, shaking and stuff as he walks away. That, like, classic cartoon.
Sweat's just pouring everywhere. You look a little haggard. Alright. As you finish the evening's rest, coming to, I imagine you check to see if the changes have been made.
Yeah.
You are now Felix Ironwood.
I can get behind that.
Okay. As the ship docks in Dullahan, you look out as most of the crew heads out of the bridge's side doors and out onto the deck, or what portions of the deck they can stand on. There is a pretty large outer ring that can act like a defensive buffer should the ship ever be grounded and you find yourselves being assaulted. It would act as a makeshift trench. It also makes as a very good relaxation point when the ship is not moving too quickly. As the whole crew steps out and just gets a look as the about 20 minutes it takes for your dock to be designated and permission to land granted, you see a city that is two-tiered. The first is a large outer ring in the middle of this very nice, hilly, forested mountain area. It sits perfectly in the center between two large mountain connections that you see have two large carved holes attached to train tracks that lead toward Dullahan. The first layer of the city, the first ring, looks to be rather simple. There's not much of that classic Zolanian architecture of marble and clay. It's wood and thatch. The homes all vary between a single story with maybe a second story, single room, or attic storage. You see the smokestacks rising. It's definitely not a normal Zolanian town. It looks a little bit poorer in this area. You get the wafting smell of old smoke burning. That very creosote pine smell. Then there's the central layer. And the central layer is that very classical Zolanian architecture. Large marble columns and homes with bright red shingles on each roof. Varying shapes and design, but regimented. You see a small little arena, currently empty, though you can occasionally spot, if you look hard enough, someone making their way through these seats cleaning. It smells better as the ship comes closer in for docking. There's almost a permanent lavender fragrance just burning into the air. Hints of rose and cherry wood accompanying it every so often. And in the middle of the central lair, tucked of a fair defensible position, is a stone and steel wall that surrounds a large manor. The manor itself is absolutely not in Zilanian design. In fact, you're having a little trouble trying to pinpoint who this architecture style belongs to. It is almost a fortified-like building with round towers, 4 of them, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Its sides are almost a star shape, pointed. And the front and the rear have these dual archways that then merge into a singular one, creating this very bizarre rounded hump-like pattern of one arch, then 2 arches that come out behind it. It has 3 stories and tapers off into a square pyramid roof. You see the guards around this building, fully armored in combat plate from head to toe. They bear 2 symbols. One is the crest of Zalen, and the other is an ear pointed with a horn set behind it. And the ear is jeweled and then capped at the tip with what looks like gold, and the horn, you see, has piercings and rings going through it in its stitching design. You also see this as the banner hanging from the front archway of this large manor in the center of town. You see the town flag flying high, that of a headless rider atop a smoky black steed with a long whip and a head engulfed in blue flame in its arm. As the ship docks, everyone starts making their way off ship, working out with the security team who is going to be leaving at what time and when they should be returning. Making sure that there's always at least hands aboard and a runner for each shift in case you all need to duck out of town a little quickly. Lycirus calls over comms. Attention, all hands. We have landed at our destination. Dullahan is not a resort town, but they have some of the finest pork dumplings you will ever have in your life. Enjoy. Which is odd. Zalen doesn't have a lot of pork in way of its products. But it is fairly close to seaside, so they might have their more premier choices of imports. With that, you are all free to go about your business as a group, as individuals. How would you guys like to travel? There we go.
What?
How would you guys like to go about traveling as a group, as individuals? What is it? What is it, y'all?
First off, did I recognize the flag?
Which flag?
The one with the pointed ear and the horn with bejeweled stuff.
Make a history check.
I was going to ask this. I was going to ask the same.
You can, yeah, if you want to.
I unmuted my mic to ask that question, and everything just crashed.
So just so I have an idea, who is anyone here from Zaylin originally? No. Okay. Gives me a better idea on that DC.
History buff, 25.
25.
25 with a natural 20 on the roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Oasis. That's a 2. Actually, that's a 4, but still.
Okay. Fixer. And Law. Both of you trying to think back and keep up with the times in political shiftings, just to see if things change here and there throughout the world. This particular flag is not one you recognize. You do, however, both know the last flag that flew at the manor, the last banner, was that of a gold ring split in two by a hammer and chisel. The last mayor of Dullahan, or senator, in Zaylin, was that of Harson Silver Spattle Smith, a gnome. I made my mistake when I named this character when I first wrote this city.
Oh, damn. Harson's not in power anymore? Shit. He had the best name.
But Mr. Silver Spattle Smith.
When I first came up with this name, I did not have the name of the original mayor planned. And so this is what came up in that moment of, yeah. And it stuck.
Man,
and it stuck.
there was no more noble name in this town than the Silver's Paddlesmith.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to him.
Vladimir just points to the headless horseman. That is what I saw.
Hey, so we were right. Nice to know we didn't waste a trip.
What?
Was that always the
Well, we
symbol
should
of the
probably-
city? If not this silver spattle smith.
Well,
The flag-
to be perfectly honest, we should probably just go into town and figure that out.
The flag has indeed always been the Dullahan flag has always been the central image of the town.
Silver's Paddlesmith was just the person that ran it. It's always been Dullahan. Well, I mean, for a long time anyway.
Was right. He's no longer. Mr. Silver Spattle Smith is no longer in power.
Well, let's find out who is.
Yeah,
That's a
agreed.
good question.
While we're doing that too, Vime, could I ask you a question?
No.
I'm gonna start asking anyways. I think we probably need a little bit more help on the front end of things like the melee combat and stuff like that. I used to practice a little bit of swordsmanship, and I was wondering if you could help me find a short sword as well. I'm not so good at I could fight with it, but I'm not so good at looking for the right weapons, if you know what I mean.
Well, I just kind of always had this one, so I don't know if I have an eye for what's right for you, but I will certainly watch you pick it up and swing it and then critique you harshly.
That sounds great. Siggy's just gonna smile and get ready to leave the ship.
Okay. So we're leaving as a group together, heading out?
Awen's gonna walk out with anyone that's currently walking out. So if anyone's holding back, Awen's gonna try to be kind of one of the first people off.
Okay. Resounding.
I want to know who.
Resounding silence. I'm going to assume you guys are all leaving together.
Yeah.
Shopping was what I intended to do anyway.
As you all step off, you make your way off the dock, and already, as the appointment was set in, the repair crew is there and is getting permission from your security team, from Cankles, to come aboard as well as deal with a security team following them around. Something they seem to be okay with and just kind of nod about.
Just give Kenkles like a thumbs up and then like give him the eye.
As he does, you notice he's actually gotten a little bit bigger now and a little bit stockier. As he pulls his hand up, it's more of like a large mitt with just small little middle knuckle digits. There's really no first digit to the finger. It's all just kind of like grown up, and his fingers seem to have gotten a little bit smaller.
What's the Kenkle version of fat wrists?
I have no idea.
What the heck? Did he take steroids on our ship or something? Is that what happened?
Started juicing.
I don't know. Does it want to make a medical check?
He's got frists.
I mean, I'm curious, but I only have a 0 in medicine. I want to see this. I want to see this hand.
15.
A 15.
I got a 12.
15 and a 12. Yeah. It looks swollen. Not naturally either. It looks like he might have gotten bit by something, stung by something. Maybe it's infected. It's compared to his other hand, which does look normal for a gnome of his massive, muscular, almost dwarven size. His left hand clearly has seen some swelling to it. There is something wrong there.
Kenkles, we have like a fully stocked medical crew on the ship.
Oh, that's okay. I got this one. Just by petting the kitty.
That makes sense. She's very angry.
Yeah, that's what she said.
And we don't really know what she got into before she got onto the ship.
Are we talking about the same kitty?
I at this point,
we do have a lot of cats in there.
Which cat did you pet?
One of the big ones. He gives you a very
Probably
What I thought.
check for STDs.
he gives you a very big
I don't be like.
Probably. I mean, it might be a good idea.
Yeah, go get your boar punched.
Okay. Guys, take care of everything. I'm going to see a doctor. And he starts making his way into town.
Okay, bye, Frist.
As there are some people who, as you watch Kankles leave across the dock and then start making his way down the stairwell that leads to the ground level in the wealthier section of Dullahan, there's a lot of people who give him some very... I didn't know a gnome could get that big. That's not a gnome, that's a dwarf. Are you sure? Yeah, that's clearly a dwarf. Just a short dwarf. Maybe it's like a young dwarf, like he's like 18 or something. Is that what dwarves look like that young? I mean, I have no idea what else he could be.
Fixer sidles up to someone in this conversation and Happy.
A halfie of what? Like, is he always at a halfie?
He's a North.
What's an orf?
North. Gnome dwarf.
I thought they just made either a gnome or a dwarf if they, like, got to... Wow, I have no idea about biology. I'm gonna have to go look that up. No,
they usually don't cover that till late college.
He's lying to you. It's a dwarf. A young dwarf.
Six is gonna also saddle up to that conversation and be like, now hold on a minute. I thought he was an Goliath instead.
Is that a Goliath in a gnome?
Something like
Is that even possible?
How do you pack that much muscle in that little tiny body then? I mean, it makes sense.
They have very difficult lives, but very muscular ones.
I have to go and look this up. I'm going home. I'm gonna check my computer. This is too much. I need to know if this is a thing. Roll for this, guys. This guy actually seems to believe you, and yeah, wait for me. Hold on. Just leaves with his friend as they are going home to check on their terminal to see if this is a thing.
Law comes up to Six and Fixer. That was fucking great, guys.
As they leave, Six is gonna be like, go home and check. What, y'all don't have phones?
Oh, Six! Shut up!
Wait, no, he's right. Hold on.
Fixer books it.
As they start...
Like, let's go.
As they start...
Sidle out.
You watch their eyes as you guys start quickly making your way as a group down the stairwell as you hear, "Oh my god, that's a thing?"
Holy shit, that's a thing? I thought you were bullshitting.
Nah, bounty hunter days. I was just like, let's keep going.
Alright. As you make your way down, you are greeted by oh shit. I just completely forgot the name of them. You are greeted by Zaylon's guards in the airport, on the air dock, as they pretty much go about asking you who you're with, what you're doing, and try and get some information about your ship and who you guys are. As it starts, one of the gentlemen, a rather sour-faced looking half-orc, just kind of, "All right, so why are you all here? Who are you with? What's your ship name? What's your purpose?"
We're a mercenary crew. We're here on a contract. We fly on the Cloud Cutter.
Are you here to find the missing kids?
No, but we might be now.
You should do that. Go to the manor if you're here to deal with the missing kids. Find the kids.
Tell us more about the missing kids?
Yeah, they go missing. In the night.
Like poor ones, rich ones.
Doesn't matter who.
Like
They all go
chocolate.
missing in the middle of the night. Whether they're in bed or not, whether the doors are locked or not, they all go missing in the middle of the night. What?
Mr. DM.
Oh, okay.
Is this a capital city?
Dullahan is not, no.
Damn it. I need to go to the capital city. Okay, back on topic. Okay, well, which way is the manor?
It's the biggest fucking building. You can get there just by walking in a circle after you leave here.
That's...
Sorry,
I mean-
I've been here for 3 shifts straight. This has never happened before. I don't like it.
Oh no.
Did you sign up for extra shifts, or like,
No!
are they mandating?
No, the mayor just looked at me funny one day because I looked at him funny, and I've been stuck here since.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, have some pocket bacon.
How old is it?
20 minutes. I'm sorry. I had to think about it. I
He-
had whiskey with it this morning.
He takes it.
It's good. Sorry I
I hope
yelled.
you have... That's alright. I hope you have a better day. Now, the manor's this way?
That way.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
I hope
welcome.
that you get relieved from your duty soon.
12 hours.
Oh no.
At this-
Wait, I have some more pocket
More?
bacon. Give me a second. And I unload, like, an obscene amount of pocket bacon.
He takes it. He takes it all, and he actually takes off his helmet. You hear the you hear the helmet just kind of as it depressurizes, and he pulls it off. As he has had his visor up and slid upward for this conversation, he slides it back down and just kind of lets you pour it into his helmet.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, where are we going? Captain, where are we going? Are we going to the manor?
I mean, I'm kind of interested to see what's happening with these kids, and I don't know, maybe they're paying for someone to help with it, or
Okay,
mean, what
to
do you-
the manor!
oh,
Should probably check that out and go shopping a little later too. But our shopping snacks are all gone.
We also have to scout out the arena.
Yeah, for the gladiators and whatnot.
And whatnot.
Okay,
I'll,
then we should
uh,
start walking. Have a good day, Mr. Guard.
I thought you guys had already started walking. Okay.
Yeah,
So while we're walking toward the manor, Law's
Just-
gonna look up and see if he can find when the next set of fights start in the arena.
Okay. Pretty easy investigation check. There actually won't be any fights for the next 48 hours. You've got about 3 days counting today. So 2 days from today. On the 4th day there will be a fight. It'll be a full days of events as part of the tribute to the Dullahan. Once a week. They have a pretty good fight. Not to the death, actually, here. All the fights are to surrender. If there is
Or death?
if there is a fight to the death, it is something that is as the last fight of the day, and it is a requirement that the winner not kill their opponent by any other means except beheading, so that the head may be sacrificed on the arena's pyre to the Dullahan. Kind of one of those very old traditions that's still kind of paganistic, but has stuck around.
So I'll relay the information about there not being any fights for 3 days.
Well, if that's the case, then we should probably spend the time to look for the kids and also research about that vision of Imir's. It's probably more important.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
let's face it, my sister's not paying us very well for this job.
Truthfully speaking.
Yeah, it really sounded like a lot more when I was working in a garage.
I mean, seriously, I mean, I can make more money hawking some random item to that guy.
Then maybe we don't get her gladiators.
Like,
Well, she had information about.
about.
She was going to try
Well,
and help us
Toby-
get more information about the keys.
But this vision came to me, so maybe the information we seek is here.
Well, there are multiple keys, right? So either or. Let's head to the manor and find out first, right, Captain?
Yeah, we could start with the manor and see where, eventually. I mean, if we got time before the next, fight in the arena, we got a little bit of
Yeah,
time to
we've
kill.
got 3 days, so let's do this. Let's do it. You got to be more pompous about it. You gotta be like, yeah, we're gonna go to the mansion. We're gonna do stuff. We're gonna save those kids.
Talk like Taggart.
Okay? Say it like that, Awen. Yeah, we are gonna go save those kids.
Yeah, we're gonna go find some more information about it,
No,
but
say
then
it just like I said it.
how did you say it again?
Yeah, we're gonna go save those kids.
Yeah, we're gonna go save those kids.
Good job. We're going to work on that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it'll
let's-
be we
let's
gotta
workshop
figure out
it.
what's happening first, and then maybe once we find them, then hopefully we can save them. But we gotta figure out where they're going.
Do you think they'll want them dead or alive? Whoever's taking the children.
I don't think that the dead children would being returned is a good thing.
I don't think.
No, I mean Are you not listening? I said the people who took the children.
Oh yeah, that could be.
I mean, obviously we want to bring the kids back alive.
Yeah, it'd be hard to save dead kids.
No, but
Some
I'm sure
for
their
them to
families
bury.
will still want to bury them.
Yeah, something there.
Plus, some of them might be rich enough to, bring them back.
All right.
Because magic.
So we should probably get onto it before it kind of expires and everything, right? There's a limit, right? There's a time limit somewhere.
Who knows? Let's go to the manor.
Yes, if they're dying, they might expire.
Yeah. I remember that was a rule for some of the bounties. If we had to bring them in dead, then we had to keep them dead for a period of time before bringing
Well,
them
we
in.
won't know until we inquire, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So, making your way to the manor, it's actually not that far of a walk. In fact, you look around as you start walking out of the air dock and sky dock, and as you look around, you could take a left, you could take a right out of here, and it looks to be the same distance either way. Which way would you guys like to go, left or right?
In dungeon games, you always go left first. At least that's my rule.
So true.
All right,
Unless you know which one you're supposed to go, and then you go the opposite.
All right.
I don't know, DD, are you left or right-handed?
I always go right, to be honest. In everything I do, I always go right.
All right, so
It's-
you set it up. We gotta go left
It's
then.
it's why
Time
I'm
to go left.
it's why I don't play NASCAR games. I always have to turn around and start going in the opposite direction. I've never won a race, but
It's
The unnecessary treasure is to the left then.
All right. Choosing to head left, as you guys start making your way, it's not that long of a walk. You pass by several food vendors with very nice shops. One is selling in baked goods, all different types. The other is actually a rather cleverly crafted noodle stand. It's run by a rather reddish-skinned human with deep ashen hair. It looks a little kind of dirty, but it's just the coloring of it. And you see his ears are slightly pointed, and it took you a moment to catch the half-elfidness in him. And he has bright, bright violet eyes. Other than that, you guys see nothing else, other than the occasional person passing by, going about their daily business, stopping off from shop to shop, and even one large building that some people stop in right across from the manor is a slave purchasing building. There is a man out front dressed in a large top hat, almost maybe 1.5 to 2 feet tall, with a wide gold band around the base of it. He wears this almost obnoxiously, vibrantly colored suit, like that of a carnival barker. He has gold and pinks and purples, stars, moons, suns. One leg of his pants is striped in purple. The other is a solid royal blue. He seems very outgoing and very ostentatious as you guys walk by. And, hello! Have you thought about buying goods, Alanian stock? I can trust you'll never find a better slave anywhere in the entire world. We have them all.
I'm more interested, though, in where did you get your socks, your tight thingies? Where did you get...
He pulls his leg up, and you see his tights are these bright pink colors with little lemons kind of dotting the right sock. And on the left sock, you see it's jet black with small little muffins dotting the other sock, as he kind of lifts his leg up almost completely up by his head. And for a man of his rotund size, that seems almost impossible, but he makes it work. I got these in the lower district. While it does look poor and dirty, they know how to make some colorful and crafty clothes.
So, is this outfit meant to draw attention? I can't tell.
Have you ever seen someone both literally and figuratively peacock? As he thrusts his hips forward. And as he does, you see a small set of tail feathers emerge almost magically and poof, erupt into this large peacock-like plume of feathers behind him. And he just kind of wiggles his rear a bit, and you see the feathers kind of shake. See? I do all the business here in Dullahan for good gladiatorial stock, and if you're more boring, labor stock. Gladiators make fantastic laborers. So if you need good quality purchases, I am your man. All the Lannistas come to me.
How do you test your stock?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, actually, I happen to represent an interested buyer, so I would like to know how you test your stock. Hi, nice to meet you. Lawrence Edwin Banker. He extends a hand to shake.
Ah! He kind of flourishes, and a cane pops out from his left wrist, and he holds it rather close and extends a rather thin hand for someone so large. And his hand is almost delicate and dainty, but gloved with a bright white glove. As he takes your hand and shakes, Shoemaker. You can call me Shoemaker.
Do you make shoes?
No. I did once, but it got me nowhere in life.
Were they cool shoes?
They were. They were the most stylish. For 3 years, I made niblets. Shoes for pets. Might have been why I never got anywhere with that. Ha-ha! Things you find out! I'm sorry.
Do you take custom commissions?
I do indeed. If you're looking for pet shoes, I still wiggle these fingers to do them every now and then.
Can I have your business card?
Indeed, and he flicks his right wrist and a large, just obnoxiously large wooden card with bright colors painted and engraved into it. Stars, moons, flares of wind bars blowing across it. And you see shoemaker's slaves, best in town. It has his address and it has his contact phone number.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Okay, you can keep talking to him, Law.
So, you're looking to test my stock. If you have time today, I can get them ushered into the arena, along with my testing companion. Would you like to see them use guns, bows, hammers, mauls, maces, swords, axes, whips? Is that the kind of thing you're into? You kind of look like the man who is. Or would you rather see fisticuffs? Some do have magical talent.
I'll take your business card as well.
Please.
He'll take it, and I'll get back to you. We have a little bit of other business to attend to, but we definitely are in the business of getting some fighters together.
Dreams of mercenaries to become Lannistas. Isn't that lovely? I think you and I could do years of business together.
Well, it was my pleasure to meet you. Always a man to meet another man. Always a pleasure to meet another man of style. And
a pleasure
can,
as well.
Maybe we can get to know each other better and have a good, long working relationship. And he'll give him a wink.
Indeed. As he does, he shimmies his rear a bit, and you see the wings just disappear back into his lower back. He gives a bow, crossing the cane over his chest, and he gets remarkably low, almost his nose actually being able to touch the ground. And as he does, he just kind of grabs both sides of his very long, thin mustache and pulls them both in. I look forward to seeing you all again. Have a wonderful day in Dullahan.
You know, maybe you can do me one more favor. Being a man of exquisite taste, perhaps you can point me in the direction of a good tailor. As you can see, my suit has seen better days.
Depends on what you're looking for, my boy. If you're looking for modest quality that looks fine, I would say the lower quarter. You can head to Dirty Threads. Or if you're looking for some overpriced grave robbing, you can head to the Silken Sheets.
I might check out both. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Was he doing real magic or sleight of hand?
Make an insight check.
That would be a 21.
You just barely caught the sleight of hand. Although the size of the cards, you're not sure, but the peacock feathers was some very good sleight of hand. With that, you guys continuing on to the manor? No one else? Alright. Nope, that's too upbeat. As you make your way... That'll do that. As you make your way to the manor, there are two large men standing there.
Before you go.
There are two large men standing there, both bald.
I can't hear you.
They appear to be twins. Their heads the size of watermelons, their shoulders broad and very muscular. They wear sleeveless tunics that still look rather kind of ragged almost, and well worn, but you see on their chests is both the symbol of the flag and the Zaylan Guard symbol. These are the only two men not wearing armor. However, they are both carrying large, meaty-looking glaives, almost monstrous in size. They have cloaks kind of hiding their being, and as you approach, they kind of shift for you to get a look at what they're wearing underneath. They have dirty, worn leather pants and thick, heavy steel-toed boots. The glaive is the only weapon they seem to have, as they both stand there. Oi! Stop right there! How are you?
Hello, we are actually mercenaries looking to take on a job. We were directed here to inquire about some missing children.
You're not here for the cats, then? There's big cats in the wilds, kind of teleporting around and stuff.
Well,
When can the cats do that?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to see them yet. Have you seen them yet? I haven't seen them yet either. I've been here with you, numbskull. That's
What do they look like?
you have. I don't know. We haven't seen them. Rumour is they're black and big, and they're cats.
Have I heard of anything like this before?
Make an Arcana check.
Ditto.
Yeah, can I join in on that check as
There's
well?
a lot of cat problems everywhere. Is that happening all over the world outside of Oasis?
Oh, I hope not. Some cats are cute. Some cats are mean. Some cats
17.
fit on your hats.
24.
It's a 13 from Law.
Okay. Sin and Fixer, you both get ideas of what it could be. It sounds like the cats might be some kind of cross between a blink dog and a displacer beast if they're teleporting all over the place. But to the untrained eye, Fixer, you know someone who's not quick with their sight or their wits might see a displacer beast as maybe a teleporting kind of cat.
They probably tried to hit it and then it wasn't there, so they thought it teleported. It's probably Displacer.
You share that?
Yeah.
What's a displacer? I don't know anything but displaces. Oh, you do know something that displaces. You displaced Mother's dishes last week. I did not displace Mother's dishes last week. That was you.
Displacer Beast. Sorry.
What's a displacer beast? I've not heard of it, and I've heard of everything.
It's a cat that if you think that you're looking at it, but it's actually a little bit further away. Or
Like
in a different
things,
direction.
like things in the mirror.
Kind of, but not really.
Gotcha.
So,
I think I understand what you're saying.
Think of if you were really drunk and you saw two cats in front of you and both of them made fun of you, so you tried to punch one of them, but you didn't hit anything, and it was because there was only one cat and you just saw different.
Either way, I think this would be a better discussion for the master of the house.
You want to talk to the boss? I don't know
Yeah.
if the boss wants to talk with you.
Well, like I said, we're here inquiring about jobs, the missing children, possibly the large disappearing / teleporting cats. We'll help with whatever we can help out with.
Alright, if that's the case, let me see who the boss is in. He turns and he presses his hand to the side of the door, and you see this big meaty hand press down a button. Who here speaks Infernal? Okay. You all begin to hear this very devilish sounding language. In Sin, you pick up something very clearly. Sir, we have 6 guests looking to enter. They would like to speak with you about the cats. You hear no response, and then you hear, in a very elegant voice, a very almost purposeful voice. It's very smooth and almost silky. Well, if that's the case, send them in. I would like to speak with them. I'll wait for them in the entryway. Guy turns. All right, you can head inside. Boss is waiting for you in the entryway.
I
Thank
say
you
in
very
Infernal,
much.
that is a very nice accent you have. You should use it more often.
Oh, don't speak infernal around people. The boss says it's not okay to do. People think you're all demonic-y and stuff, but he's a tiefling of great renown, he is.
I'm just a tiefling.
I see that, that's why I think you're very pretty.
Oh, thank you.
You think anyone's pretty just 'cause they smile at you and pay you a compliment? Shut up, you're being mean today.
You're both very nice. I hope to work with you soon. Okay, bye.
Bye. He opens the door for you and opens. As you guys start making your way in, very easily, you see this very beautiful, elegantly crafted garden. Bright colors of red roses with black roses mixed in between. And as you get closer to the house, you see the black and red roses begin to actually meld together. You see they begin to be red with black edges, and then it slowly overtakes in black before it's just the base, almost looking like fire licking the bottom of these roses as they wrap around the base of them. As you approach the large steel doors, you see carvings of images of bright angelic creatures and dark-looking devilish creatures, both bowing to the Dullahan, standing prominently between both. Almost being... The Dullahan is split by the two doors as they open. And behind the two doors, you see a man with a relatively simple but fancy outfit, almost classical nobility. A very long dress coat with a gilded buttoned undershirt that goes from one side of the chest to the other, with gold tassels going down. The base coloring of his outfit is this deep mahogany red. There's black trimmings along the coat with gold inscribings along the base. His entire outfit screams elegance and importance, all the way down to his almost obsidian black dress shoes. The pants you see have this very deep reddish two-tone, as almost they catch the light and one side looks darker than the other. His face is a dark purplish color, with a set of horns that start about just above the temple and a little bit forward and pull back and then curve upwards, almost like a crown as they wrap around the back of his head. You see his hair is cut short and groomed elegantly and perfectly, but there's just an air about him that's kind of overwhelming. There's a series of piercings along his left eyebrow, and you see both his ears are gilded in piercings as well and capped at the top. His tail is also clasped around, much like a dwarven beard, with several different beadings, chains, and claspings along the end of it, where it kind of gets this draconic look, as it has several bone spurs that pop out underneath the skin and create this dragon ridge-like pattern before it ends in this wide spade-like fin at the tip of the tail. He greets you with a smile that's warm. Well, look at this. A group of adventurers looking to take care of the cats. Welcome. Please, enter. And he steps aside and gives you a path to walk your way in. Heading.
Like walk before I head in. I'll kind of whisper to Law. It's like, did they say kids or cats?
He said cats, but we're gonna ask about kids too.
Right.
We actually had questions about a couple of jobs for you, Law will say as he steps up to shake his hand.
As you step up to shake his hand, he looks down at your hand and looks up to you, and I do apologize. I'm not the contact type. A simple bow will do. And he just nods his head a bit.
Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to be impolite, and Law will bow.
As you do.
I follow suit.
Okay. All of you entering, you see this vast central hall. Inside is a stark contrast to the outside, as the outside is very, very Zilanian in design. You see the large marble walls, the columns, the floors, two-tone colors, statues lining. You see statues dedicated to famous gladiators that have fought here. You see statues dedicated to former senators of Dullahan. And then finally you see the main statue in the entryway, that of the Dullahan, the horse rearing back and the Dullahan pulling the whip back. However, the statue has no head. The mayor or the senator leads you back into a seating area. Motions for you all to sit. Around, you see on the table is a pot of hot tea. There is a bottle of honeyed wine or mead sitting on the table as well, along with a few small pastries and baked goods. He flips his coat back and sits into his chair, crosses one leg over the other, and waits for you all to sit.
I'll find myself a seat and sit down. Like,
Law will sit as directly across from him as he can.
Okay.
So is this office space kind of
I would like to beat
or is it like an office space or
Law
is it
to the
like...
chair.
This is a seating area. There's a couch. There are two chairs that aren't directly across from him. They're angled at him, but there is not one that is directly across from him as he sits. It's almost as if he purposefully aligns the chairs so that he is at the head and no one else. Everyone is there to address him, and he is there to respond to their addressing. That's how it seems to be seated.
Vimir just sits at the first seat.
Okay. If that's the case, I need Sin and Law to both make dexterity saving throws. As Vimir, you sit down. It is a very comfy leather couch that has a fur covering the back half of it that feels very similar to your bear fur.
Good to know. Good to know.
Six is taking a seat, and the least fancy looking seat.
Be the couch.
Yeah, I'm just sitting down the first place I can find. Like,
Be the couch.
He's the least. Okay.
Yeah.
Fixer is going to deliberately sit in the middle of the couch because everyone always wants a side seat. Fixer's going to sit in the middle.
Okay.
I'll be like, I've already sat in the middle. Be like, all right. I'm just like scoot over to the other side.
Just a little bit more. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Not much space, but I need a little bit.
Fixer is clearly the middle child.
I'm pretty sure it's a two-person couch, Fixer, but I mean, it works. We're all skinny enough. I'm just
See, this way I'm the center of attention.
So what is the outcome of the dex saving throw? Jesus.
24.
24.
21.
Okay. Law manages to slip in the seat before you.
I sit on his lap.
Okay. Sin sits on your lap. Power move.
Sin.
At this point, the man just kind of
Right now.
brings two fingers to his chin and just kind of smiles. Just kind of seeing this.
Law will steer into the skid and just wrap an arm around Sin.
Fixer will lean over to Six to be like, "When the fuck did that happen?"
I don't,
A-
ship's a little big. A lot of secrets.
Eowyn, as almost every seat is taken, there is only one seat left, and that is the chair closest to this individual.
Yeah, Eowyn will sit in the chair.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
As you guys sit, he simply motions for you all to address your needs.
So we heard about a couple of issues that seem to be facing your fair city here.
There are, yes. Fair, I wouldn't say that much. City wouldn't stretch it that far. Dullahan is a small town, but we do our part to take care of Zaylon as best we can.
So yeah, on our way in here, we heard about some teleporting cats that seem to be plaguing your wilds, as well as some children that seem to be disappearing from within the city.
Yes. These are things that are currently pestering our town.
Well,
The children are going missing in the night with no real reason or rhyme. And there seems to be a drow leading this pack of beasts, riding atop one of them.
You say pack, how many?
12.
Shit. Like 12, there are 4 of them, but everybody sees them multiple times, or?
I'm not sure about your familiarity with how we speak in Zaylan, but I did not stutter. 12.
Now, could both of these problem be just connected with each other?
No. I don't see how they could be. But if they are, and you deal with them, I would be eternally grateful for your help and assistance.
Well, I think both of these jobs sound like they're up the alley to our talents. What can you tell us about the missing children beyond just them disappearing in the middle of the night? Have there been any traces, any clues left in the homes as to what happened? Anything?
We've lost 37 children in as many days.
Any signs of break-in, or
No,
are they literally just gone?
gone. Houses locked, windows locked. No forced entry, no signs of struggle. Simply gone.
That thing. And he'll point to the statue.
Yes, the Dullahan.
Yeah, I saw it in my vision. It came to me.
I'm not certain if the Dullahan's a real thing, to be honest with you. It's not been seen for thousands of years. Maybe it was
Hey,
killed.
Brad, less than 1,000 years now. Because I seen it.
He looks at you. And he kind of just gets a read on you. As he does. Natural 20. All right. You've seen it. Do you know anything about it?
No, that's why we're here. And I asked what it was.
It's a Dullahan. A headless creature that has, for many generations of this town's existence, protected it when its travellers needed to go through the mountains or around the forest or through it, guiding us safely. Recently, troubles have started since, unfortunately, I gained my seat as senator of this town. The statue's head went missing. Children started disappearing. And this drow and his beasts came out of nowhere. I've kept the peace and kept things calm. But I'm sure you understand people are actually coming close to looking for my head and blaming me for these issues. That's why I gave order for any mercenary groups to be sent here. So
Well, we weren't sent by any order. We were following the Dullahan. So perhaps in protecting your path, he has sent us here.
Perhaps. I imagine if you were to find the statue's head and return it, that would probably do a lot. I imagine if you were to find the children, that would do a lot. And if you were to deal with this drow, that also would do a lot. Say 10,000 for the children. Gold pieces. For the drow, 2,500. For the head of the Dullahan, I will bestow upon you the gift that I can give to those I, as Senator of Dullahan, deem worthy.
Is it a key to the city?
No. It's a weapon that has long since protected these people. Though, we've had no need for a champion for some time. So it's been collecting dust.
Sounds like a key to the city.
Do you accept this offer?
Vimir stands up. I do.
Six's ears kind of perk up when at all of this, and he's like, "That sounds like a good deal. All three of them. I would as well."
I'm down.
Eowyn's gonna kind of turn to Law and to Sin, and just be like, well, just kind of like quietly, but I mean, the person can still hear him since he's close, but just be like, well, we've got a few days. We could certainly put some work into these, eh?
Definitely. Maybe even put some of our crew on the trail of one while we trail the other. Then have them report to us if they find anything major.
Oh, you're a larger group than just the lot of you then.
Yeah, we have a ship and a crew.
I have some smaller work that can be done. We have local guild contracts for the mercenaries and for the adventurers. Some
That
smaller
should keep
things.
them happy, greedy bastards.
Where is the guild hall anyways?
If you leave here, you'll find the joined guild halls for, well, all of them, at the edge of the wall, between the central district and the outer district.
Thank you for your time.
You're very welcome. My name is Lokias.
I'm Vimir. And seeing that he has the aversion to handshaking, Vimir just bow ever so slightly.
Well, time to go hunting. And I kind of bow as well.
The senator will stand and he bows. I appreciate your service. Best of luck to you all on your hunt.
We'll try to be expedient as we can, especially with the children.
Much appreciated. He will then lead you out and send you back on your way. Alright. As you guys make your way out, where would you like to go? first.
Captain, is it safe to say that we should probably split up to search for clues around the town? Especially with these things.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea to maybe split up a little bit, and maybe reconvene, and maybe in a little bit.
I would
Quick
say...
question, DM. Did we get any kind of like data stick or anything with the names of the children that have gone missing or the names of their families?
You have not. Nope.
I mean, some of us are definitely going to be more useful in different areas on this.
I need to
think.
go to the guild's hall.
A drow and 12 displacer beasts sounds like something that
We might
all of
need
us
some
should be
extra
in on.
muscle.
Yeah, that's something that all of us should be in on. Finding
Oh,
the
yeah.
kids. I mean, I can ask around. You know, I'm good at talking to people.
Yeah, I'm not too bad at talking to people, but I think I should arm myself with some sort of melee weapon to help us with our battle formations and everything, and just in case we got to deal with these beasts, you know?
Not sure how into rapiers you are, but this belonged to a friend, and I don't need two. And he'll hand over the moon-touched rapier.
Six is gonna look at it and be like, "That's really glowy. It looks. Yeah, I think this'll do quite nicely."
Yeah, I have my my cane, and that's really all I need.
All right, and he's gonna take it.
Okay.
He's gonna take that.
Well, what do you guys think? I mean, we could maybe go try to check out some of the displacer beast stuff. While we could go tell some of the crew members, and maybe they could spend a little bit of time maybe doing some investigation around town about the missing children, and then maybe reconvene, you know, once they'll find some information, and then maybe we could see what's going on with the cat thing. And because like you said, you wanted all of us to stick together for the cats.
So the nice senator man said they have lesser work that the crew can do and they can make some coin. If there's someone particularly suited to a job, then perhaps we could put it on it, but
Should a cut of their contracts go to the ship? I mean, I think so. I think a cut of our contract should go to the ship as well, as a whole.
I mean, it'll only make sense.
well, we barely have them now. If we renegotiate their contracts, they'll be even more angry.
Well, I'm just saying we should make sure you know, a portion of the funds from what we do as well as what they do goes back for ship repairs, ship maintenance, upgrades to the ship so we can better defend ourselves.
Let's
that
ask
kind of stuff.
what their contracts say currently. Because if that's the case, then we'll stop paying them as they get work. But yeah, who knows? We didn't know all their bounties were gone until we asked. So maybe it's already in there.
We could check
Very
that
true.
after we get back onto the ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if that's the case, I don't have anywhere to be to look for weapons anymore. Which one should we focus on first?
The kids seem most time sensitive.
Missing kids is a
agree.
big deal.
It's happening every night too.
And
That's what it sounds like.
yeah, I think that would probably do the most.
Is there DM? Is there like police station or anything that
There is a
goes
local
to?
guard station, yep, that houses the Dullahan Guard and militia,
Okay.
as they only have a
Uh,
small detachment of soldiers here.
Hey, Vimir.
Yeah.
Do you have the eye on you?
No.
Who has the eye?
I gave it to Captain Avon a while ago.
Okay. We don't get any major leads during the day. Using the eye tonight to try and check on one of the children, to try and peek in on one of the children might be a good idea.
Well, the way it works is you need something of that child, so then we should perhaps go to one of their homes.
Well, yeah, I mean, we would aim to
That's
be
the
able
thing.
to look in on them, right?
We should probably go into the guards post and see if they have a list of the families that are missing children, and we can go talk to the parents of those. Then we'd be able to find something particular about one of them, and then use the eye that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't use the eye until midnight anyway, so.
So let's
Cool.
go find one of these kids.
Okay. Making your way to the guard station. Entering inside, you see there are several people here. Some more poorer than others. You count about 8 individuals. 5 of which look to be from the lower district. Bit of grime, dirt, and a hard day's work clearly showing on their faces and their bodies. Tan skins, worn fingertips, a slight hunch from maybe working hunched over all day from one of these individuals, men and women. And 3 very posh, well-dressed women. The women are at the front counter, and you hear them demanding to see the head investigator on their missing children. They're shouting and screaming at the people behind the counter. And you see the guards are doing their best to try and quell them, whereas the poorer folk do seem to be kind of huddled and doing their best to muster the courage. And as one of the men steps up and goes to interrupt, you see one of the women immediately snaps around and draws a small cudgel from her purse, and you see it looks rather vicious looking, as there does seem to be these almost leather covered steel edges, almost making it like a small mace of a blackjack. She comes around and smacks the guy's arm. "Don't you ever get in the way. You wretches in the outer city should all be enslaved. Your children, too. Your children do not matter. Mine does. Mine has a future, not yours." The man kind of
turn to Law, slap his ass, and be like, "Go get him, Tiger."
The man shirks back and holding his arm, which you see there is a stream of crimson coming out. And it's kind of actually bent that way now, as she might have actually broken or at least fractured something to cause it to have a slight bend in the opposite direction that it should be.
Law's gonna walk over. Whoa, ladies. What's going on here?
As you do that, the guards, who look as if they were going to arrest the woman, pull back and see that someone else is going to interfere and get yelled at, and they all kind of just pull back. Some of them, though, still reaching for their shock gauntlets to be activated as they start putting in their crystals into the palms of their gauntlets as they kind of lean back. The women turn on a heel and look you up and down. One of them, a half-orc woman, very well dressed and well put together, wearing this very long, flowing, what looks like a blouse into a half dress, only covering the back half, where you see she has long, silken pants that slip into a nice pair of heels. She kind of looks at you and, I'm sorry, I don't think you're aware of the situation. And she looks you up and down and, wannabe? But our children are missing, and we're not here to be distracted by some rabble and dirt. As she looks to the other group.
Vimir, as he's accustomed to, steps behind Law.
Okay.
Lal just put a hand up, hearing Vimir come up behind him, like, "Don't kill them yet."
As you say that, one of the
he
guardsmen...
doesn't say it, just more of the gesture.
Okay.
I would like to.
You were about to be arrested.
No.
In the meantime, I would like to hide behind Six and prestidigitate a stain onto that lady's blouse.
Make a sleight of hand check. I'll give you...
And
We lost her.
she pressed digitation herself away. That was a good sneak check.
Greater invisibility.
Sleight of hand.
Okay. Alright. Sin. Uh-oh. How gone is she? Oh, God. Make a sleight of hand check. You have a what is okay? So you have an additional +2, as Six isn't the biggest kind of body to hide behind. As
skinny as hell.
He's a skinny ass tabaxi, so you've got a +2.
Oh no, but I do have my my big like.
He's got a big
duster jacket.
You got your
Yeah, I have
jacket.
a duster jacket.
Yeah, okay. So you're getting a +2 out of hiding behind him to your roll.
Okay. 22.
22. Okay. She does not notice, nor does she notice the stain on her blouse either. She's more looking at Law, who, while is wearing a bit of a fancier clothing, his suit has seen better days.
Getting stabbed and shot does that to one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's looking to replace it. So, anyway, look, ladies, I completely understand why you're distraught, and you actually just happen to be looking at the group who just spoke with Lokias about finding your children.
That muddied blood who calls himself our senator? I don't think so. As you see this high elven woman who looks very haughty and holds herself up high, wearing a very nice, almost cream-colored and off-white pantsuit with another nice set of heels, and just... He's a lowborn. He's not doing anything to help the real citizens of Dullahan. He only cares about everyone and is putting more of a focus on the breeding rabbit rabble over there. They'll have another child in a year. They're not losing much.
Well then, let's focus on finding your children. Because
Good.
we're here to inquire about that.
Then let's go into that corner over there where you can sit down and we can talk at you.
Sounds fair.
Six is gonna kind of lean back and be like, "What?" Kind of hearing what Sin said, and just kind of not trying to make a sound, but
I'm not very good at reading people. Is anyone of the, like, others? And she kind of, like, does a little nod towards the lower class citizens, the working citizens. Is anybody listening or seem interested in what Law was saying?
I was kind of focused on these three, but yeah, like even though focused on these three, can I have? Is there a my passive perception? Does it actually go and see anybody else noticing this conversation?
The citizens of the outer city that are there seem to be keeping their eyes away, but giving glances, hearing that they're going to usher Law into a corner. They seem to be getting ready to make their way to the counter to start talking with the guards. The man whose arm is broken at this point and maybe fractured, it's hard to tell, is talking with another man who is pulling out from his coat a few pieces of steel. He seems to still have his blacksmithing apron around his waist and a few of his tools, and he pulls a few scrap pieces of steel and a piece of rope and just, all right, you see here, 1, 2, and you hear the resounding snap of bones sitting back in place and just and you see him starting to do a makeshift tourniquet.
If that's the case, I'll kind of pat Law on the back and be like, if that's the case, y'all should deal with those three ladies, and then some of the rest of us should try to talk to some of the lower born people and kind of attack this from both sides.
I'll work with these three. You guys do some other investigating.
Sounds good. And be careful.
Sorry,
don't
ladies,
get your
on
arm
my
broken,
way.
yeah? Don't get your arm broken. That's not.
He won't.
And then I'm just gonna head over to the guard stations and see the other.
As you do, and the ladies, having left the commoner, like the working class folk of Dullahan, make their way up and start speaking with the guards. They are calmer. They are worried. They do seem nervous, but they are trying their best to keep a calm, civil conversation with the guards as you approach. Anyone else approaching with 6?
Fixer will approach the one that got injured and now has the splint on and use his glove to spray a cure wounds on it.
As you do, you come up and cast cure wounds. You don't have to do that. That's all right. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
So, I assume you heard that we're looking to help out with the investigation, and we would be extremely grateful for any information you guys have.
Yeah. Gary, let's get this off. You can have your steel back. I don't want it. As the blacksmith comes back over and starts untying it, and so, what can I help you guys with? At this point, 6, making your way up, you see some of the women talking, and officer, please, all we ask is just some extra guards into the lower city. Please. Please. We need some extra protection. We're targeted more than everyone here.
Targeted, you say?
Yes.
There's a specific reason? Have you seen any of the...
The first 3 children were taken from the central city by... Those 3 women's children were taken.
Everyone else is from the lower section, then?
Yes. Yes, all of them. Some families couldn't make it today. And We're the ones who could.
How many of them are there?
There's 8 parent. There is 5 parents here at the moment.
I think you said 37.
37 children, 34 from the lower city.
Okay. I'm gonna raise a hand or a paw to kind of.
I mean, you do have fingers, but you still have the little bean paws.
Paw-ish. Yeah, it's like kind of fuzzy fingers.
Got your
And
claws.
Yeah, and the claws and everything, and then I give her a handshake and be like, my name is Six, and I'm part of this crew with the captain behind me, and we're here to help out with the investigation too. And we're trying to find all the children, not low-born, high-born, it doesn't matter. Now, I don't know anything about extra protection, but is there anything that you could tell us about the missing children, what happened those nights, and maybe something special, something that unique about them that we could probably use to find them?
Annabelle, can you take over asking the guard? Thank you. And you see a ginger-haired, rather small elf with bright green eyes approach and start speaking to the guard. At this point, as she starts talking to you, Fixer, back to you.
So, are there any patterns that have been determined at this point? Age, race?
No, they're taken from all sides. It doesn't matter. Male, female, though they've taken more female children. A lot more. They took a handful of young boys, and then it's, I think 27 girls been taken to this count. At this point, the families have started shaving the girls' heads and muddying them up a bit more. Unfortunately, some have gone to more drastic measures to cutting up some faces to try and keep them safe.
So, is there any pattern to the location? Are they all abducted from their homes at a certain time?
In the middle of the night, we're all sleeping or trying to sleep, and we're trying to stay awake, and everyone seems to always be asleep when it happens. There's no noise, no sound. They're just gone. At this point, back to Six. We've lost a lot of young boys. Then it's been mostly targeting girls. Whatever it is that's taking the children. We've tried staying awake. And she kind of leans in, and Annabelle's and Eladrin, and she swears something magical somehow put her to sleep, which she says should not be possible for an elf. But something put her to sleep.
Now that's...
She said she was only asleep for a minute, and in that time her daughter was gone.
Man, what was your name, by the way?
Cassandra.
Cassandra. I have a question. Well, did you have a child taken as well?
Yes, mine was one of the first.
I'm gonna really quick turn back to Awen and be like, Cam, how does the eye work? Are we able to sense something if we just need something that belongs to the child, right?
Yeah, I haven't used it, but that's what Viamir told me. We just need something.
If you need something to find the children, we've all got effects and pictures that you could use at our homes.
It is quite possible, ma'am. I don't mean to intrude, but we're trying to tackle this from all facets, and I was wondering if there's anything we could do to. I assume that you've kept your kid's room kind of the same as
my son's room hasn't changed. No.
Is there is it possible for us to go and inspect it?
Of course, I'd be happy to once we're done here.
All right. If that's the case, then once my other crew member here is done talking to the guards, we should probably head over.
Certainly. Fixer, back to you.
So I mean, honestly, it sounds well. I thought I heard earlier at the sender's place that it's been one a night.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm guessing we're dealing with definitely at this point a spellcaster, and it seems like they probably have the means to transport themselves. And
but why kids? Why? What do they have to gain? They're not. I don't know. My son was taken, and the only thing I can think of is he and the other boys. Well, we don't cut hair unless it's absolutely necessary, so they've all had long hair. I don't know if they just got confused for girls. We want our kids back, and all the kids now are just. The kids are afraid to go to sleep. But fear, no matter how scared you get at their age, will still knock you out. You asked about age earlier. Yeah. The youngest was about 6 months old. The oldest, 12.
it's a pretty broad range. Do you have anyone on at your disposal that knows how to scry?
No, we're workers. At most, we'd make a pretty mean militia. That's about it. You want to see me crush someone's head with a sledgehammer, I can do that, but no real magic talent here.
Okay. Well, yeah.
With that, as you finish your questioning, Awen, do you have anything you want to do?
Awen's been listening to 6 this time. He's been listening to 6, and nothing at the moment until all the talking's finished.
Sin? Okay. Law. As you stand there, these women are bombarding you with information, asking you about your credentials, your lineage, your time as an investigator, whether or not you're actually qualified to look into this matter. Are you some kind of creep with an even creepier, large, hulking, clothless, an almost naked, barbarian-looking elf?
He'll show them his.
There's
He'll show them his background as a member of the banker family from Hegan.
They all have to be low rolls. They look at them and those are obviously fake. Look at you. You're not any member of the banker family. We know them. You are some lying grubber. So who are you really?
My name, and he'll, because he hasn't been wearing it really this whole time, he'll pull out his actual signet ring from the banker family, is Lawrence Edwin Banker.
Two of them quiet. One of them looks down and you killed the boy and took it to take his identity. The two other women just nudge her, give a nod.
Clearly, that's why I have Cassandra Banker on speed dial.
Fine. You should learn to clean yourself up more.
I've been on the road since Hegan. I haven't had a chance to. I apologize for my appearance. I'm going later today to get myself a new suit tailored.
You'd better.
Absolutely. So.
Nobility can't look like trash. And you should suit this monkey.
He may not be well dressed, but he's very effective at what he does, which is protecting.
I've got nice armor on.
I know. I know, you're in half plate, like, you're covered.
Yeah, I'm not making it anymore.
And he has a
Get out of here!
They still view you as a barbarian. They see you're not wearing boots. We've established you're not wearing boots. You're wearing a kilt.
I'm wearing a kilt and half plate. So
and a half plate. You're covered in tattoos. They're looking at you like you are like the worst of the worst at this point. Along with your bear cloak with the with the pauldrons as well. They're like he's a savage.
I'll just yep.
I pay him to protect me.
You should get a real protector. Like an armored knight of Zaylan.
I may look into it while I'm here. This is my first trip to Zaylan. Now, back to the matter at hand, and something I think you'll believe is far more important. Tell me what you can about your missing children.
Our daughters were taken in the middle of the night. No one knows who took them or where they went. All we know is that our alarms detected use of magic within their rooms.
Okay.
Who would take children?
I don't know, but I intend to find out and make them pay.
I hope you do. And if they do not come back alive, I will hold you, we will hold you responsible.
How long have your kids been missing for?
Mine has been missing for 37 days. The high elf says, and the half-orc woman, 36. And the human woman with the mace-like blackjack, 35.
So these were among the first taken.
Yes. They always take from nobility before they take from the... They look back and see the group talking to the rest of the rabble, as they call them, before they take from the lesser.
May we come to your homes to investigate? Take a look.
Not dressed like that, you will not.
Well, obviously, like I said, I need a new suit, and I'm going to get that before I come to your homes.
I hope you do. When you do, you can come to our homes. They're all right next to each other. And she'll give you their address.
Perfect, thank you. And I didn't catch any of you fine ladies' names either.
You'll be speaking with our husbands when you approach. So you don't need our names. All you need to know is if you do not bring our children back alive, you will suffer for it. The three of them look at each other and give a
Ma'am.
And the three of them leave. Just leaving you with their address. Seeming to not want you to get in the last word. They seem to be at least trying to keep control of the situation.
Law takes in a deep breath and looks at Vyamir. This is exactly why I wanted to get out of the fucking house.
Are you gonna try to dress me in more monkey clothes?
No, if anything, I'll try and dress like Awen in monkey clothes. I still want someone else with me. I don't, especially into that human woman's house. She looks mean. Besides, Awen doesn't need, no offense, Awen doesn't need weapons to defend himself. So he'd be able to defend himself if we get attacked for any reason in there.
I don't need weapons either. He's just better punching things. I'm better at cutting them up.
And with that, Law will approach the rest of the group.
Okay. Conversations had, the folks from the lower city finishing up their conversation with the guards. The guards of Dullahan seem to agree to giving at least 5 more guards, but you hear them say that is the most that they can give before the central city citizens start complaining that their children aren't being protected. The group sighs and looks somewhat defeated, but acknowledges that they are at least doing something.
As the group gets together, I just wanted to introduce the group to Cassandra and be like, this lady here's name's Cassandra, and we're probably gonna go and investigate her boy's room, and we might have to use the eye. Everything seems a little too magical around here, at least the kidnappings do. And I don't think anybody else is gonna have any hard evidence for us to be able to search for these kids.
Well, I finished speaking to those 3 women. And
high elf.
Right?
They they were very interesting. We have permission, as long as we are dressed better. He's kind of looking down at his holy suit. To enter their homes to investigate their daughters' rooms as well.
Yeah, I'm not taking off my duster.
I was thinking about having maybe Awen or Sin go with me. But Sin, if you go, you have to be on your best behavior. None of the stunts like you pulled in the manor earlier.
You mean you didn't like the stain I put on her blouse?
I don't think she noticed the stain on her blouse.
I know
I
she
didn't notice the stain on her blouse. Huh.
You should have been looking more closely.
Nope, you were more intently staring at them being pissy.
I was much more interested in not getting smacked with that cudgel.
I mean, if she had smacked me, I'd probably
Would have had armor Vagathus on.
They also had shock gauntlets.
That's
I'm not
cool.
interested in getting electrocuted.
The guards did. The
Oh, the guards did.
peacekeepers. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I was not interested in getting smacked. I got smacked around enough yesterday.
Well, the way I see it is, if they were some of the first to be taken, if they are killing the children, they're already dead. Which
I'm
means
aware.
we're better off finding some of the more recent victims.
Most recent would be optimal.
I agree, but with nobility, we at least have to put up the face that we're trying.
That and well,
You do your faces.
we could
That's
do,
why
we
I'll
could-
go.
we could-
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't think that I can deal with those kind of people. It just goes against like my morals, and I'd
That's why
be
I think
likely
Awen
to
should come
like
with me.
take my glaive and start fucking up shit in their house. So you should probably take Aowen.
Cool. Hey, Awen, we're gonna go get suits.
Even I'm more well behaved than that.
Oh,
Ooh, make sure he
okay.
keeps the suit. I want to see Awen in a suit.
What color suit?
Don't
if
worry.
that's the case, then
Suit is my treat. Oh, some kind of Dullahani. The latest Dullahanian fashion's gonna be the way to go.
well, if that's the
Trust
case,
me,
then
with
you guys
people like
use the
this,
eye.
you don't want to be out of style.
Yeah, you guys should use the eye on the nobility and what however many houses that we're allowed to search. I'm like looking at Cassandra right now and be like, however many of these rooms of the families that we can search, the better.
Well,
Start
I
with
can-
yours, but we
I
need to
can-
find some more.
I can take you around.
All right.
Maybe we should talk to the chief investigator as well. Make sure that we're not doing more work than necessary, and we can kind of look at what clues he's found versus what we can find.
What was their mention of their knowledge of magic again, Fixer?
So, based on what I'm hearing about it being once a day, about nobody entering or exiting rooms, it's got to be somebody that's capable of teleportation, but not to the level that they can do it more than once. Well, once in, once out.
I can confirm that it's definitely magic. The nice thing about talking to nobles is they have expensive alarm systems that tell them when magic goes off in their house.
It's
And
also
that's exactly what happened right before it happened.
it's also incredibly powerful magic because one of the other parents was a ladrin, and not to say anything about any of the elves here, but they also have a special affinity to magics to turn people to sleep and things like that. And even she fell asleep for about a minute or so when her daughter was taken.
Interesting. That's
A spell like that, I mean, in a normal circumstance, wouldn't be very, very difficult. That would be one of the lower ends of spells, but do I know
something
how
that can put
Eladrin would affect the sleep spell?
Eladrin, like all elves, are immune to magical sleep.
So that goes from being a possibility of a low-end spellcaster to something that shouldn't be possible.
they're immune to magical sleep, but what about like sleeping, like drugs and things that put
Chemicals.
people to sleep? Chemicals.
That does not affect elves. As far as common knowledge is, it's the only way some elves are able to get proper surgery done is through sleeping gas.
So someone that has access to that kind of chemical.
And know
Or,
how
I
to do
mean-
it without any breaking and entering in there and stuff too. No signs of struggle. No signs of breaking and entering.
That's why it's got to be some sort of teleportation, and that puts them at least above your common magical caster.
Alright, no point in talking about it now. We should probably split up and good luck with your suit hunting.
What if it's not asleep but forget?
Or an illusion.
There are spells
Everything looks
that
like it's fine, but it's not.
could be. There are spells that that modify people's memories as well. But that's, again, like you said, Fixer,
Those are pretty extreme.
very powerful magic.
You'd be hard pressed to find people capable of that.
Whoever needs that many children probably is powerful.
And it appears that even the boys that were taken had long hair and could be mistaken for girls.
Is that true, Cassandra?
Maybe it's just slavers.
Yes, it is.
Should probably start then.
That's
Start
an
the investigation as
expensive-
soon as possible.
It's a very expensive venture for slavers. Children take a long time to grow. Trust
But
me, I
most-
know.
And most criminals don't poop where they eat.
That's what I don't understand this.
He means they don't take the children to the same place that they're selling the slaves.
Oh,
It's a little too...
that makes sense.
Or they find a place away from their home to.
I don't understand why we're
Stash
talking
things.
about pooping though.
to express
Most criminals won't perform acts like most big time criminals. People who'd be willing to steal from nobles and people who'd be able to pull something like this off won't steal on their home turf. If they're
Oh,
slavers, they're looking to sell those slaves.
and this
Dullahan is a place
good
to
spot.
sell slaves, not
Oh.
get slaves.
That makes sense.
As you guys are talking, the group of the Lower City folk come over, and Cassandra, I'll catch up with you all. I'm gonna bring a few of them over to everyone's house. Please have some pictures and some things of your children available for them to look at, please. They nod, and we'll tell the others. We'll go. And Cassandra, will you be all right alone? I might be a widow, but I'll be fine. Go ahead. A few of them nod and leave her alone with you. And, well,
We should get started then.
please. And as Cassandra takes you all out, you get a better look at her as she has had her cowl up over her head. She has appeared human for the most part. And as she pulls her hood back, you see this very interesting half-elven features. She is this almost pinkish purple skin tone of color. She has bright red eyes and ashen black hair. So, follow me and I'll bring you to the lower gates.
Lead the way, ma'am.
All right. Who is heading with Cassandra and Six? Fixer, Viamir, and Six. Sin, what are you doing? Sin, who are you going with?
Sorry, my brain just went. I think I just heard someone talking to me.
It's okay.
Not with Law, because that's a bad idea.
Okay, so with us.
So you're going with
Yep.
6 Viamir and Fixer to investigate the houses as Eowyn and Law are heading off to find suits. Okay. With that, as the party has found a few things on these missing kids and this drow who rides atop displacer beasts, as they dive deeper into this investigation, we are going to pick up next week with further adventures into Dullahan as the party digs deeper into this mystery. Who is taking these kids and what for? Find out next week. I cannot wait for next week. Dullahan is my favorite place in this entire campaign world, and I'm so happy to be playing in it. You guys have no idea. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to those who followed the channel this evening. I am so happy to have you joining our family and joining our streams. Let me give a huge shout out to Solar Space Bear. I love that name. And Anna Allseer. That's another cool name. I like that as well. It's a pretty good name for a psychic in a D&D game. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you all next week for another episode, and catch the other side of the Crimson Skies world in the Azure Adventurers Guild session that will be held this Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Damaged Dice. I look forward to seeing you all then. Is it Tuesday yet? Because I really want to get back to this. Bye now. Have a good night.